I just looked at my eye closer and I realized that it's not any redder than my other eye is. I think it's just my hair and the light reflecting into my glasses that to me makes it look red, but it's not. Um, Lads, ladies, and non-binary daisies, am I right? Nightmare Anarchist is a 2019 fantasy coming of age by Shami Stovall. Um, I wonder if coming of age always has to equal YA. After this, I should probably get some tea because my stomach is giving me the rumblies. Um, so there's some phoenixes, and they bond with mortals every 10 years. And this book is also in first person, and we all know how I feel about first person books in general. Uh, there's a gravedigger who we're with. His name is Volk. He can't participate, I guess, because anything dead isn't allowed, anything that interacts with dead things isn't allowed to go over there. But it's not even like he was really given a chance because his parents were criminals, apparently. We don't actually know what they did. So, whatever, I guess. There's a girl that he's with named Ilya. She's also another orphan, and they're like siblings. And Volk tries to bond with a phoenix, but it doesn't go very well. And he decides to leave, and so does Ilya, so that they can find other animals to bond with, because it's not just phoenixes that do it. Ilya finds her animal, Volk doesn't. Also, one of the kids who bonded with a phoenix, his little brother comes with him because he's an asshole. And, yeah. I can't really even explain the plot. I don't know what the plot is. I don't know why Volk wants to do this. I don't know why things that deal with death are left out of it. Like, there's something wrong with them. Uh, I don't know. Like, a character who is a criminal by association being like probably isn't going to do anything bad because they want to try and prove that they're not. Like it's just a coming of age story. That's the problem. Like I don't I need my fantasy to have more fantasy than that because coming of age can fall into any other type of genre. Coming of age isn't really a genre in and of itself. It's more of a subgenre. And I just it's page 100 and I don't really have an idea of the plot. Like the other books that I didn't like, at least I knew what the plot was by page 100. I don't know. Like, I just didn't like a whole lot of these books, and it's really depressing me. But I need to get through these so that I can read my next set of books so that I can order more books because I don't want to order any more books until all the ones that I currently have sitting on the ground behind me are all, like, finished. Like, it's a lot. Like, look at that. That's the pile up to my bed. Like, it's a lot. My bed's not that high off the ground, but that's not all those books are the size of that one on the top. Um, Hero Forged is an urban fantasy by Josh Erickson. It's the first in the Ethereal book series. There's a succubus that gets pulled into a human body, and she is more powerful than the man who summoned her intended. Her name is Gwendal. Forget about that shit for right now, because Gabe is the main character. He's a con man, but he wants to leave that behind. And apparently he's gay and in debt. And he's writing a book, but the book is also a scam. And Gabe also does like actual crime. And like he somehow gets involved with going to like this warehouse where they're going to I think the succubus wants to eat him. I'm not entirely sure. I should just get progressively lower and lower as these books that I don't like go on. But um yeah, whatever the plan was, it was a trap by Gwendal, so who cares, I guess. Um I don't really care. It takes like 8 or 9 chapters before the plot starts, and I just come on, dude. In the root, Eric saves a kid, saves a little girl, 10 pages in. Like the next book I also read in my freshman year of college. It is called Aristotle and Dante Discover the Stars, and I love this book, and it was recommended to me by a friend. It is the only book recommended to me by a friend that I have liked, although I promised I would revisit Percy Jackson, so we'll see. Aristotle and Dante Discover the Stars is the cutest gay book ever, and Aristotle is my child. It's YA, and it's also so there's this German word that I found for the genre. It's on Google. It says Bildungsroman. Bildungsroman. I don't know how to say it, but it's a novel that's about the formative years. So it's like it's not coming of age. It's just about the formative years. Yeah. So Ari's sister moved out, and his brother's in jail. His parents don't like to talk about them. Um, his brother might as well be dead. So yeah, he meets Dante at the pool, and they bond over their stupid names because their names are stupid. Not Dante as much, but Aristotle is a dumb name. Um, so it's also 1987. I don't think that's like the height of the AIDS epidemic, but I know that it was still a massive problem, and not Salem, but not even where we were in terms of acceptance in like 2005. Like, not even 2005, not even like 1995. So, yeah. Dante's family affection startles Aristotle, Ari, because his family isn't super like that. Ari gets sick, he's got some nightmares. Dante's family is moving to Chicago, I believe. Um, Ari saves Dante from getting hit by a car. Then their families start to become friends. Ari starts reading silently with his dad, and like he thinks that's their way of like communicating. Ari doesn't like not having Dante around. Dante is already in love with Ari. It's so cute. Ari isn't quite on board, but they promise to just stay friends. And Ari gets infatuated with a girl when he's a sophomore. Dante sends him letters, and Dante admits to being gay. And Ari is able to get like his mom gives him info about his brother, like a box that they had, but he doesn't want to open it. And then the girl that Ari liked ends up having a shotgun wedding for the uninitiated. The reason it is called the shotgun wedding is because if a boy is it's a southern term. If the boy sleeps with the girl and the girl turns out pregnant, the next time he shows up at the house, her dad is waiting on the porch with a shotgun and they're getting married. That is why it is called a shotgun wedding. Um, Dante comes back to the place. He's gonna have a little sibling. Ari kisses Dante as an experiment. Dante felt something, but Ari claims he didn't. Um, one of Ari's siblings, not siblings, one of Ari's aunts has a stroke, and they go to visit her, and none of the other family wants to visit her, and I believe it's either his mom or his dad who tells him that the reason the other family doesn't accept her is because she lived with a woman and was like in love with her. So yeah, Dante also gets jumped by some homophobes. So uh, when Dante's parents ask Ari if he knows why they were jumped, Ari says it's because he was gay and he was caught with another boy. I will come back to that in a moment. But uh Ari's dad shares his Vietnam story, which is like it was like a thing, it was like one of the barriers between them. And Ari likes Dante, and Ari is ashamed of this, but his parents are supportive. Dante's parents are also supportive, and Dante and Ari look at the stars together at the end of the book. So, like, this book is really cute, and the first time I read it, when Ari got hit by the car, I audibly gasped. Like, it was a lot for me. Ari, like, discovered the secrets to himself, and I feel like it accurately shows how people fall in love. I cannot speak to like the gayness or anything like that, but I feel like even men and women fall in love the same way, where it's like you're not sure at first and you're like infatuated with other people, but then like you miss them a whole lot and then they come back and you're like, ah, and yeah. Slowly you start doing things for each other and then all of a sudden you can't stop thinking about the other person. So, yeah. So, couple of things. One, there's nothing wrong with kissing, dating, marrying a girl when you are in the closet, especially if you don't know yet or like you're forced to hide. There's nothing wrong with that, especially if you're being forced to hide. Not everybody comes out the womb just knowing that they're gay. Don't feel ashamed for having been with uh if you're like a boy, don't feel ashamed for having been with a girl. If you're gay, if you're a girl, don't feel ashamed for not being a gold star lesbian. And if you're anything in between, then I guess you're fine. um but yeah, Like strictly for like girls who like girls and boys who like boys. Don't feel ashamed if you have been with the opposite sex. It happens. And if you are attracted to boys and then discover that you are attracted to girls, that's fine too. Like it's okay. And then I think it says a lot that Dante was like, even for now, I think it says a lot that Dante was scared and Aristotle was ashamed because, like, even though the book takes place in 1987, that's still something that lots of gay people have to go through, and that's why coming out is such like an important thing for them. And yeah, on that note, Aristotle outed Dante to his parents, which like no, I don't care if it's 2020. I don't care if it's 2005. I don't care if it's 1995. I don't care if it's 1987. You do not out your friends to their parents because you don't know how their parents are going to react. It's very lucky that Dante's parents were accepting, but what if they hadn't been? Like, also the deal with with Aristotle's brother, he defended someone who was gay. No, sorry, that's not the deal. Aristotle's brother killed someone who he found out was gay. Yeah, that's why his brother is in jail. Um, but yeah, like especially in 1987, Aristotle shouldn't have done that because his parents very well could have kicked him out. Like, um, you can be you can be masculine and be a gay boy, or just gay in general, or you can be feminine and be a lesbian. You don't have to be a masculine lesbian. You don't have to be a feminine gay boy. If all of y'all were feminine, what would you do with each other? But like, you gotta try to accept yourself. And if you're hiding, I'm sorry. Protect yourself the best you can because if you're hiding, usually there's a reason why you're hiding. So just protect yourself and try to stay safe. Those of you who are out and proud, try to remember that there are people who don't have that luxury. And yeah, the only truly problematic thing was the fact that Aristotle outed Dante to his parents, I feel. Everything else was fine. Um, I saw a post on Tumblr that said having a gay kid is like having a cherry gummy in a bag of strawberry gummies. Like, it's still a good gummy. And then I saw one that said, it was on the same post. It said being hit on by a gay person when you're straight is kind of like having currency in the having like euros when you live in America. It's like I can't use this right now, but if I ever decide to cross over, at least I'll be set. So, yeah. Subscribe.